Alrighty, test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a great day. Looks like I got a message from Max and Nicholas. Happy to see you guys back here. Loki is obviously very excited to come say hi. It's whenever I say test 1 2 3, he gets really hyped up, but he was just chilling upstairs eating dinner. But oh, yeah, he's having a good day, causing me a lot of stress as always, but you know, he's doing just fine. Alright, so a lot of stuff's going on today. Some really good earnings that I thought we'd talk about maybe just for a little bit. You know, Amazon's rocking it, Apple's not doing so hot. So, you know, if you're doing a good job, you're getting rewarded as always, and if you're not doing a good job, you're not getting smashed necessarily, but you're definitely not, you're kind of more worried about where your stock price is going to be going more over the next few weeks and months and not so much over the next few days. Doesn't seem like the earnings are having too much of an effect on some of those larger players here. So let's kind of move over here to Bitcoin very fast. Let me front this display here. Got a lot more stuff going on than normal when it comes to all these screens. There we go. Oh, and hey GT, happy to see you back. Kazir for Tommy Tycoon, or yeah, Tom Tycoon, excuse me. Island Time, as always, happy to see you. And Etrev, what do you call? There we go. All right, let me break down Bitcoin very fast, and I'll start going over some of you guys' questions and things like that. For now, I should be able to move this right here without any issues, so I can see your messages a little bit easier. So, Bitcoin's in this weird thing where it looks like we're trying to eventually make a larger move down, in my opinion, that will take us closer to like the $37,000, $36,000. But even though it looks like that way to me, we could still have this extra pop here. I know if some of you guys look at this daily chart, I know it looks a little bit weird, but I think you guys can see the way we're trying to have this. Let me get off the magnet here. You can almost feel like there's a little bit of a head and shoulders playing out right now. Not the largest head and shoulders, grant you, but it's there. So I would say today is probably the last chance. If there was going to be a inverse head and shoulders type play that would cause us to break above that and hold above that 43,660 level, it would be today after we've kind of had this little bit of a dip and rip. I know I wasn't able to stream with you guys yesterday because Loki ate some padding or something that I didn't watch him for a little bit, but he seems fine for now. So as long as he's fine, I'm not gonna be too concerned about it. But the moment he shows, you know, discomfort or something, then probably rushing off to the vet. But anyway, I told you guys that you might, if you did want to buy, you'd be buying around that $42,000 mark. We came close to it. I think we went maybe a little bit below it. Right down here, we went down to 41,896, pretty much like 41,900 basically. And if you guys were able to buy down here, you're looking okay. If you guys bought with a higher leverage, I'm probably saying this is a good opportunity to scale out a good chunk of yours. If you guys are looking for something of a holding for a few more days or something like that, then obviously your price target's probably, your next price target is probably going to be around 44,000, then 45,000. Anywhere after that, you know, you start getting in a little bit of territory where we can get smacked back down pretty easily, which has happened quite a few times, which kind of sucks, but that's something for another day. We still have the momentum taking us higher and higher, at least in the daily charts here. Weekly charts, we're kind of in this weird situation where things are getting more mixed again. MACD is getting more bearish. The stochastic is still bearish, but the RSI is turning more bullish here. So I would still say that's a little bit more mixed until everything turns bearish. Maybe next week or the week after. You know, I'm going to be cautiously watching to see what happens on the weekly chart. As we get closer and closer to that 20-week moving average, I am going to be looking at more and more opportunities for us to have something of a larger move down, of like a 2,000 point negative day for Bitcoin. Again, you know, it's going to be hard to time that, sometime in February maybe, but I would say we're looking for a big drop if we're not able to make new cycle highs here and start going above $50,000 sometime over the next 2 weeks. I don't think we are, but again, you know, I've been wrong about this previous setup. I thought we were eventually going to continue moving downwards. We kind of just had this quick pop around and things are looking okay for now. Even go back over here to the 4-hour chart. You can see we're trying to have this smaller breakout and then from there make a little bit of a move up. We just had a golden cross between the 20 and the 200, 50 and 200 maybe coming our way. Order blocks have been working out. And now, you know, you're pretty much just looking at that. Are we going to make a move over the next few hours? I think we can, honestly. I don't really think there's much stopping this because there still seems to be a decent amount of buyers still left in this market. Will it be an easy straight up? No, but you know, if you buy now, you pretty much have a good chance of making some money. Your stop loss doesn't have to be so extreme, which I kind of like about this trade. Typically, if you're buying right here around like $43,000, you could have a stop loss right here at like $41,892, like $1,000 down. You don't really have to do that. If you guys go over here to the 1 hour chart, you know, I would just be looking at a support level either right here at 42,872 or right over here 42,770. That way you're only looking at a $400 loss, you know, $500 relative loss here. And that's how I would look at this. If you want to be a little bit more conservative and not have to be so wild out here, you can actually just go down here to 42,512. Typically, when I make my trades, I will stick around here. But for those of you guys who are in and out aggressive traders, you guys can try to go over here to 42,800 or 42,883. To me, you know, sometimes there are times where we dip and then we have that rip. Don't get caught right there before it rips. That's the way I would try to think about it. But if you guys are going to be aggressive anyway, and you guys are just chasing the momentum, I mean, you guys can just wait till we break out and then try to catch on to that wave. A few other things here. Bitcoin's kind of going more sideways, and that's fine, I would say, right? Ethereum overall more sideways. Altcoins still trying to go more sideways, not as good as I think we want them to be, but you can see, you know, they're trying to go sideways at least for the past few weeks. Amps are looking fine. There's a few that aren't looking so hot, and that one really is. That's Matic. There we go. XRP. I don't know what's going on with XRP. I've been trying to find some news on them. Loki's chasing the cat because the cat tried to come down into his territory. But anyway, I don't know what's going on with XRP. I've tried to find some news on it. Let me see if I can go over here very fast and look for it. Because this is Polygon. You know, Polygon Labs cuts 19% of its staff. One of you guys mentioned this to me earlier, so I just read up on it a little bit. But executive hacked, network breach. You know, this was all like a day ago, basically. And if you go back over to the chart, this thing's been happening for the past month, it looks like, of nasty moves. All right, let's say 3 weeks of nasty moves, but still. Bottom up growth. No. Billions XRP removed. That will happen a few weeks ago, maybe. You know. Solana Elite Forex XRP. But this goes back to December. So the only thing I could see is maybe this failed Bitfinex exploit attempt. Billions in XRP removed. Let me just go over here very fast. A feature on the XRP Ledger network was used in an unsuccessful exploit attempt on a prominent crypto exchange. Bitfinex Chief Technology Officer Paolo confirmed in an X post on Monday. Nearly 15 billion worth of XRP were flagged by on-chain service whale alerts to be moved in an apparent transaction early Monday, amounting to nearly half of the token's 31 billion market capitalization. So that could have been it, but it seems like it was failed, right? Failed Bitfinex exploit attempt. So, you know, maybe that weakness there compounded with the hack, maybe that's putting two things together. But as I go back over here, again, you know, this is the weekly chart, this is the daily chart. XRP is just looking very weak. If you guys, I mean, I have XRP. I'm dollar cost averaging it because I'm still thinking it's fine, personally, because I haven't really found anything crazy about it. However, if you guys are really excited about XRP or you guys have been looking for an opportunity to buy XRP, this is probably going to be one where you can start dollar cost averaging. This is not something where I'd say, oh, it's come down and all the other altcoins have been going sideways. You should be buying this in bulk. Not typically how I like to trade altcoins like this. I'm just saying, hey, I might be looking to add a little bit more of a dollar cost averaging method here. Now, this is the daily chart here. You can see how bearish it's been compared to a lot of other stuff. EOS, somewhat similar. Maddox, much more sideways, you can see on the daily charts. In fact, we had a breakout. We're trying to see if we can go a little bit higher. This might have been a weekly chart I'm looking at, because the way I have this magnet set up, it doesn't look 100% accurate. There you go. Oh yeah, it just broke out yesterday. You can kind of see that. So that might be an interesting move here. I'm just dollar cost averaging. As far as I'm concerned here with the different plays that I have, my Fairdesk account, it's down about $656. It's dollar cost averaging long term. It's gonna happen. I don't really mind it at all. I got like a $957 of powder to go in whenever I feel like I need it to. But I'm looking for opportunities when everything is kind of dumping a little bit more. And right now we're just going sideways, so I don't feel an incentive to do heavy dollar cost averaging. It's very light, like a few bucks here, a few bucks there, 20 bucks there, 100 bucks there, maybe 200 bucks there. 500 bucks on a dollar cost average type of thing. It's nothing's cheap enough. And maybe that's just showing my frugality, but I don't know. Oh, but speaking of exchanges here, before I get going, there is another sponsor for the channel. They are going to allow me to do some fun stuff on their exchange here pretty soon once I get everything worked out. But BYDFi, I think that's the way you probably pronounce it. I'm going to be working with them as far as being a sponsor, teaching you guys about all the different platforms, kind of how I do with Fairdesk. And then on top of that, they're going to give me some, I think like 200 bucks or something, to do some fun day trades with you guys. I'm always kind of transparent about this stuff as far as like, yes, I will get commissions if you guys sign up. Yes, the money that they're giving me is, I'm not going to bat an eye if I lose 200 bucks. I wouldn't bat an eye normally, but you get the point. It's not my $200 to lose. It's money that they've given me. So I can lose it so I can take a riskier trade that's maybe more exciting. I don't know. My exciting trade on Fairdesk is being down $659. We'll see. But this is one of the new exchanges that I'm partnering up with. And basically with the money that I make off of them, I'm going to be buying another camera and another microphone here. Because what I was talking to you guys about earlier today was, how do I describe it? When I'm streaming with you guys and I go on these wild tangents and stuff like this, I really do enjoy them. And I think you guys hear like a pep in my voice when I start talking about stuff that's not just the typical charting data. Because charting data is like the work of what most traders do. It's the work, it's your job. But when I start talking about tangents as far as, what's going on in the Middle East or Europe, or Biden's trying to block LNG things right now, all that type of stuff, I just get excited about talking about it, like what the actual effects of it could be. It's my opinion. It's not like I'm stating like pure facts and stuff, but I get really excited about that. So I'm thinking of having a camera that's outside, and maybe a microphone that's outside too. Well, actually, I don't think I need a new microphone. What I have is, it's upstairs. I have a DJI little microphone thing. It looks like, yeah, it's this little thing. I got one of these, and basically, I can plug it into my camera, that one, and then I can talk into my microphone, and it goes straight there, so everything's recorded very nice and easily. And so I can take that camera pretty much wherever I want to go, buy a new tripod, and just kind of go on these mini rants wherever I'm at. Sometimes I may be at a park, sometimes I may be at the waterfront, sometimes I'll be on my balcony, sometimes I'll just be in the backyard with Loki. Pretty soon, I'm getting a new fence for my backyard, so I'm going to have like more of an enclosed area for Loki, so he can be out there for hours, and I can have a door open with a little doggy door or something, so the mosquitoes and shit don't get inside. It's almost mosquito season, guys, so watch out. As soon as it starts getting warmer, it's going to get bad, at least here in Washington. But anyway, I'm really excited to go forward with it, so if you guys have any questions on that, let me know, and you'll see me promoting them more as, and same with Fairdesk, over the next few weeks as I start making more mid-rolls and stuff like that. So get ready for that. It'll be a good one here as far as I start ranting and doing things like that. Who doesn't like a good rant? All right, there we go. Hey, Trev, happy to see you back as always. I know I said that already. If I had $1,500, where would I go? Typically in these situations, it kind of depends on what your risk is. When I think of $1,500, I usually think of maybe, 5 really good plays that I can just toss my money in there. Usually you can go with some longer term leverage plays like I do on Fairdesk, the 2 or 3x. Funny enough, BYDFi, They have the leverage tokens that I like that KuCoin used to have. So you can always go down that route. If you're thinking something more of a shorter term, I'd probably look to be day trading Link. That thing has been pretty fun to look at over the past 24 hours. It's been kind of popping off and on. It's been having some decent breakouts. If I can find it here for you. That's no. There we go. Okay, last 24 hours basically. See that breakout right there, along with everything turning bullish. That was a beautiful play right there. So far, it's actually actually too high over the last few hours. It already had that next big pop. I probably want to go chasing this. But if you find some of those breakouts on the smaller time frames, that's probably what I'd be looking for. Let me just do a quick check for you on the hourly charts. If you're looking for something that's kind of popping up a little bit more. Most stuff isn't moving too much. I see ICP is moving up a little bit. You are having a change of character here on top of a breakout. Everything looks pretty green at this point. This could be an opportunity. You would be buying it, expecting it to break out above this order block and have a shoot up moment from the $12 where it is now, closer to $12.27 or all the way up here towards $12.40. Either way, you're going to be looking at some profit as far as I'm concerned, just because Bitcoin's going to be trying to make a breakout today. If I zoom out a little bit more, has it broken out yet, or is it still trying to break out? That's a good question. So let's go over here to the 4-hour chart. Find the best one for us here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so it's going to try to break out here pretty soon. So if you can find a little bit of a spot where it's going to consolidate a little bit more, that might be a good opportunity for you there. Back over to the hour chart. Trying to think of tokens that you can find on a majority of exchanges here. How's Matic? Matic, I mean, it's been the messiest breakout ever, but it is trying to have a breakout. Personally, I wouldn't be hopping into it. It just doesn't look like it's, it's had a good support level followed by an opportunity for a breakout. It had some of those. No, I just kept on making lower lows. What am I looking at? ICP day trading is probably going to be your best bet right now. Arbitrum, yeah. No, Ape token. Ape token looks like it's grinded up to make a relatively new high. Here it's consolidating a little bit more. If it decides to break down and consolidate a little bit more, that might be a good opportunity too. So you're looking at maybe, well, let me just back up here. 4-hour chart. It already broke out there, but yeah, I would say Ape token or Link. Those are going to be some fun day trading opportunities for you. Bitcoin, on the other hand, we're kind of just waiting to see if it can make that breakout today or tomorrow, as far as like the next 24 hours. And that'll have a big pop. That'll really drag all these altcoins, no matter what you buy, really, hopping on board. Chili's is down quite a bit. Well, not a little bit, just about on 2%, but not entirely sure why. Yeah, it's broke out, just retesting out a trend line there, maybe to go higher down the road. Alright, there we go. But at least Bitcoin's still trying to make some moves. It's slowing down a little bit on the 15-minute chart, but consolidation's consolidation. It's had a rough few weeks, as you guys might imagine. Hey Shannon, I have a cat too. How did I not know that? Let's see the nameless cat too. It's not my cat, it's my sister's cat. My sister's a freshman in college, so I'm watching her cat. The cat loves me a lot. The cat loves Loki, but the cat does not like Loki when Loki's hyper. So if Loki's been like right now, he's like laying down on the ground. If he's laying down on the ground and he's chill, the cat will go up and lay down next to him. But if Loki's on the hunt, and not like a biting hunt to like attack the cat, but like wants to play, she'll just like go chill out in my sister's guest room that I have here, and just it's pretty much the cat's room, because it's just like a guest room with my sister's computer in it. That's basically what it is. But yeah, I can't go get the cat. The cat is elusive. Like, she determines when she wants to see me. I can't call her. The cat's very nice though. Like last night or this morning, she was meowing up a storm because I hadn't fed her yet. So I gave her her food, and then she just came over and she was like purring so loud it was like a meowing purr, which is, I rarely hear that from her. But she was in a good mood to be, take the little brush and she'll do that little stuff. Cute cat. She didn't used to like me when I was when she was a kitten, but she likes me now. Probably because I'm the one that feeds her. Let's see here. And hey, Discount Killer. Good evening, Mike. How'd the Loki incident go last night? So far, he's doing fine. I haven't had any problems with him. He's been running around. The doctor said to give him some hydrogen peroxide. If he didn't throw up, don't worry about it. It'll probably just pass. But he said make sure that he's eating fiber-rich food. So he's eating fiber foods, and he's running a lot to make sure his intestines are moving around and stuff. He's eating worse apparently. He ate a whole when he was only a few months old, like 6 months old, he ate a whole turkey drumstick after Thanksgiving. Like he was born in July. Let's see, yeah, he was only a few months old by November, and yeah, he ate a whole drumstick, and I was terrified, and I basically just had to watch him for like cool 2 weeks, and he was perfectly fine. He's been known to munch on stuff, but I don't like, I didn't think he was going to try to steal the steak. He normally doesn't go off on the counters to steal stuff. But I guess a steak was too irresistible. He got about they were nice steaks I got from the butcher. So he had about $100 worth of steaks. And yeah, he thought I wouldn't find out until I came down here because I was upstairs relaxing, trying to get my sleep schedule back in order. Came back down here and I just saw the little packet and I was like, there you go, Loki. Let's see. And hey, Alan Time, what is Save? Is Save a stock or a cryptocurrency? I'm guessing a cryptocurrency? I don't see any crypto here, so must be Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines stock is kind of in a weird spot. Well, yeah, let me explain what's going on here. So Spirit's in a weird spot because they were going to be bought by JetBlue, and then of course JetBlue hit some regulatory concerns. And so there's a chance that Spirit Airlines may go bankrupt and they may get bought out by a whole bunch of different their assets are going to be liquidated and purchased by a bunch of other airlines. That's basically what's going to happen here, I think, unless there's a way to get this fixed up. You can see it's been going downhill. Back when they opened up over here in 2011, it was cheap. It was fine. People didn't necessarily like it too much, but it was a cheap way to travel. The service was better than what it was recently. I tried to fly Spirit Airlines to Vegas once because I was like, okay, I'm not bringing any luggage. I'm only there for a couple days. Maybe I can take their first class seat, and which is like just a first class seat. It's nothing special about it compared to like a Delta or an Alaska. And it was not a good experience. Everything about the experience just felt off. The people at the counter were just rude, and I was just like, I'm not going to talk back to people that are rude to me when it comes to an airplane because I just want to get to my location. If you start something, you could be kicked off. I can call the cops. Don't give them an opportunity. But anyway, this latest batch of news over the past few weeks was basically that there was a hiccup. People are worried about it. There's some rumors. And then over here, of course, a couple months later, the rumors came true. And then we had this crash. We went down as far as $4. Okay. So this isn't really looking the best at this point. If you're looking for an opportunity to hop into this, it's going to be one of those high risk plays that if it doesn't work out, you're going to sell this before the end of this year, and you are going to take that loss on your tax returns, on your taxes, basically. And then if it does work out, you have a really crazy upside. But it's one of those high risk opportunities where you're going to be having a little bit of fun to see where it goes next. I haven't heard any news since the announcement came over. It looks like the news came over a couple weeks ago, honestly. From a technical standpoint, I mean, there's nothing that's going to help you here just because of what's going on all the time with the attempted buyout. I don't even know if the buyout's still happening. Maybe they're going to try to appeal it. Oh, I'm not typing well today at all. Yeah. So 2 days ago, JetBlue, Spirit Airlines file appeal to merger block. JetBlue, Spirit seek expedited appeal to merger rejection. JetBlue is at plan without Spirit Airlines. Routers, JetBlue, Spirit seek expedited approval. JetBlue looks for post-Spirit profitability. Let me go over here to FinViz very fast. Yeah, their market cap is 700 million. They're losing about $500 million. Short float is around 20%. So there is an opportunity for this to squeeze if they get some good news. It's a long-term buy, and you're just waiting for that squeeze. When the squeeze happens, you're kind of just out. But the squeeze should make you a decent amount of profit. Let's see. Nobody's selling anything. I mean, how are they going to sell stuff in this situation? When's their earnings? February 8th? That might be a catalyst for you right there. Again, it's not going to be a massive one just because of the deal and the merger being blocked by the government. However, because of the short squeeze potential, you could see it possibly getting back above $10 sometime over the next week or so, just off of that news. This is going to be a high risk one though. There's not much technicals are going to do, because if you go over here to the monthly chart, you'll just see some nasty stuff. Because it is an airline company, because the economy is decent, because they're in talks with a buyout, it's an okay thing to try to buy into this, hoping for that. Sometimes we look at different stocks and things like that that'll kind of have these charts that are going down, down, down. Spirit Airlines has potential here. They really do have potential to make you some money if you were to buy here. It's just something of a more risky play where people are just going to be a little bit more worried about it, and you're looking for specific news events to break in order to get you a pretty nice return, because, as more good news comes out, if good news comes out, short sellers squeeze, everybody's happy there, but institutional buyers come flooding in, which makes it pretty interesting, because everybody's gonna be trying to make some money off it when it gets that buyout price that they're talking about as far as the stock's concerned. You were thinking of a put? You could try. They're probably going to be pretty expensive right now. The only thing about it is, again, if earnings are decent, you're going to have that potential for a squeeze. But a put, maybe a couple weeks out, that could be decent, but you're going to have to hope that earnings is going your way, and you're probably going to be looking for something closer to in the money. It can be out of the money puts, but you don't want to be so far out that implied volatility is going to kill you, because that implied volatility right now is probably really tough right now to deal with, because everybody's afraid of another sudden move, and so it's the price of the options themselves have been already so run up that if you're too far out of the money, even after earnings, you could see the options, the puts, even though it might go in the right direction, the put could still lose value, which is always a sucky event, so to speak. Hey Perez, do I see Bitcoin going to 80K this year? I can see it going up to at least 100,000. 80,000 I think is pretty reliable. The big issue for us is, are we going to have a massive move in 2024? Are we going to have a massive move in 2025? I would still say the end of 2024 is probably going to be the best opportunity for us to hit some really crazy highs. As long as the economy is chugging, I think we're fine. If we go into a recession or something like that, I think things get a little bit more weird and there's a little more panic. I think that panic is like a juicy buying opportunity before we go parabolic, if we have that before like the end of, if we go into recession before the end of 2024, right? But in order for a recession to really be kicking off, we have to have like the 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. We've already been through one of those. The government, the media, everybody said there wasn't a recession when there was. So I'm so confused about what will actually happen if we have another recession. Will everybody say it's not a recession again? I don't know. But I think there's a good chance to get to $80,000, yes. What we're basically looking for is just rates to come down and the economy to still be chugging along. Those two things propel us after the halving, propel us to have an $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 year. We do need rates to come back down. I think it was stupid for the market to think they were going to be coming down in March for whatever reason, but sometime in September, starting in June, July, I think the Fed will start cutting rates there a little bit. They're going to get bullied into it by the government because it is election season. Of course, they're going to try to do something. But you know, because I don't expect rates to really get started to get cut in June, you know, we probably won't start having some larger moves until maybe May. Because, you know, every month we'll get that heads up like, oh, something's about to change. Now we really know. The market will kind of take off of because of that news. It'd be nice if inflation went down below 3%. I know we had an uptick last month. Bitcoin overall is kind of going sideways since that announcement. The stock market, however, is not. It keeps on going ahead because of AI and all this money going back and forth between the corporations. But if we can get inflation back down below 3%, I think that'd be a great catalyst as well. Just because it gives the dollar a reason to go back down. See this right here? After the announcement yesterday, you know, or the announcements, I would say, you know, we want to see. Let me go to the weekly chart. We want to see the dollar come all the way back down over here. That'll get Bitcoin back going. But if Bitcoin decides to come, the dollar decides to go back below like 99.50, oh, you better believe Bitcoin will be having a tear, just an absolute tear around there. Oil coming back down as well. There's some signs that the economy is slowing, but I think overall, at this moment in time, we still have a good chance of getting to 100,000, 80,000, 90,000. Yeah. And hey, Ty Malone, enjoyed the smart money class. Much appreciated. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I am going to be making another series of videos. They won't be on smart money concepts because I think if you guys go over to YouTube, I'm pretty sure, I think Tom still has this first spot video, but I'm fine with that. Smart money concepts looks Algo. You know, I have enough videos up here. Like I have this one right here. That one's 7K from a month ago. This one over here from a while ago. I got that one right there. Oh, there's my video right there. And I got a few more just if you scroll down. There's one right there. I got the price action concepts one somewhere right over here too, but I'm not searching for price action concepts. So I'm thinking of adding I'm going to ask my friend to teach me more specifically about some of the tools, but I'm going to be doing some ICT concepts tutorials. But I got to learn more about the strategy itself and the way the Lux Algo system works around it. So it'll probably take me a month before I'm ready to make a video on it because I really want to know everything. And it takes a lot of research to kind of just understand all the simple stuff. Like I had to figure out, remember how I told you guys that typically when I go over here and I do Lux Algo, price action concepts, or it can be smart money concepts. If you guys go over here to the color candles, you'll see it change in a second. There you go. See how the colors changed? Go over here. There you go. So when it comes to the smart money one, if I click anywhere off of this one, or maybe it even is the price action concepts. If I click anywhere off of it, the color candles turn off. So what I had to do is I had to right click on the change a character here or any part of the algorithm. And you see the visual order, I basically bring it to the front. And then it works out just fine. I don't exactly know why it happens like that because really there's nothing there that would separate it or, you know, that would mess with the color candles. However, you know, now I don't have to worry about it ever messing up or things like that, like smart money concepts. Let's go over here to price action concepts. Color candles. See how it's red right there? Oh, now it's no longer red. No, now it is. Woo, woo. It's going back and forth. Oh, I don't like it. So I was able to learn how to fix that a little bit. And again, you know, visual order, bring it to the front. Now when I click anywhere else, I'm moving it around. There's a slight move every now and again, but that is off of something else that I would have to like hover around and see what's causing it. Ah, the price line is what causes it. So see how there's a line where the current price action is? Yeah, that causes it to go back to normal. But besides that, perfectly okay. So I like learning about all that type of stuff because, you know, if it annoys me, maybe it'll annoy you. And the fact that I can kind of help you out with that, I think is good. But for these types of streams, I don't typically keep the color candles on. because they don't really make much sense unless you've been kind of having a zoomed out view, right? There we go. I'm hoping we can get out of this lower high situation, which is why later on today I'm hoping we can actually have that larger breakout here, which can get some momentum and passion back into Bitcoin. And hey, Amir, did I move? No, I've been living in this place for quite a bit of time. I'm thinking of moving to Nicaragua sometime next year or the year after. I was in a rush the past like year, I would say, but I'm kind of like calming down on it and be like, okay, I'll find the best opportunity to move. I know there's a way for me to get Loki over there now. Now I just have to make sure my sister's okay with her college and her internships. And then once I know she's fine, once I know I have this house locked down, because basically I was talking with my grandmother. If I move, it's not necessarily going to be very expensive for me to live in a country like Nicaragua or something like that, or Panama or El Salvador. I'm thinking of maybe even two. So I'm thinking of helping my grandmother just pay the mortgage off of this house. And if I'm able to do that, then she doesn't have to let anybody live here. And I don't want a squatter, or I don't want somebody with that lives here that doesn't pay their rent and it's too hard to get them to be kicked out. I don't want any of that stuff happening while I'm gone. So I'm thinking of just having this house be empty, me still paying rent or something like that to make it seem like somebody is living here. And then if there is ever a problem, I can be like, no, I'm here. This is my place. I pay for it, yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking that'll be a good little way to like stop all the bad stuff, because Washington State has some pretty crazy laws when it comes to living. Like somebody can just like break into your house and claim they live there. And, if nobody's living there, they can just say, hey, I've been here for 30 days. It's my place. I'm not moving. So you have to go to court. Court doesn't take like a week or 2 weeks. It takes months and months and months. It's just a painful time. So I don't want my grandparents to have to worry about anything like that, because, it's not fun. So I'm going to try to do something like that. And then I found out there are these cool little trips, these little private planes where people get together. They rent a private plane to take them and their dogs and their cats and their pets from either California, Texas, or Florida. And you hop on board the private jet and you pay like $5,000 for a person and a dog, and you just head down to Managua, Nicaragua, or El Salvador, San Salvador, El Salvador, or Panama, or something like that, or Ecuador even, and you just fly down there. And so it's pretty nice. I'm glad I found that out. I've been looking for a place for a while, because I would fly with Loki only if I could be like literally right next to him. So I'm pretty excited to see how all that works out. But right now, I'm in no rush. I'm seeing that prices in Latin America are going down a little bit. So I'm wondering if their economies are faltering a little bit right now, and if that's going to lead to if America's economy falters, their economy will get hit much harder than it already probably has. So I might have a good opportunity to find some places with really cheap rent, which will be pretty nice, somewhere like in a nicer neighborhood, because I'm going to be living in a gated neighborhood with like good cops and stuff, because I'm a crypto guy. I don't want to be targeted for my crypto money or something like that. See. Hey, Oof, any stock, please? Please look at the short interest. You want to see any short interest. Sphere 3D Corp. The short float is 8%, a little bit less than the last one. This one's a pretty dangerous one to hop into, because it has a market cap of 29 million. Basically, if you're hopping into this one, you're usually thinking of it as like you're going to the casino, you're putting it on maybe a third or a quad on the roulette table. So you're putting on like one of the three number sections, or you're putting in a quadrant basically, and you're just hoping it hits. It's already had a big pop off from 52 cents all the way up here to $4. Unless there's something fundamentally changing about the company, you're looking at this on the trend line right here, where it's probably going to break down. And if it breaks down maybe below this like 195 level, $2 level, it can easily come back down to 171, and then from there come back down to like the 140s, at maybe at worst $1.11. But it's a pretty risky play. The margins don't seem to be improving. The sales seem to be improving. That's good. Current ratio is not the best when it comes to let's see, optionable number. Oh yeah, it only has 27 employees. Only 27 employees. So yeah, this is a high risk play here. They announced a deal in 23. When did this take off? Right here, December. Production operation updates. So they had some updates. Looks like it worked out pretty well, but they're all selling their shares here, not even for much money. Oh yeah, the market cap's so small. How can they share their shares for money? But yeah. Well, let me see. December. Let's see. Yeah, only a couple of them were able to profit, or only two of them were able to really profit off of the last bounce here. But yeah, so I would say it's a dangerous play, but you know, to each their own. Just make sure you understand the risk, and you can try to get that to squeeze perhaps. But just understand it is at a level of support. So if that support starts to break down, it'll come down pretty hard and fast. Then you're going to be having a bag if you don't have a stop loss, and then you're going to have to wait for another opportunity for it to pop. And it can happen because it only has $29 million market cap, but it's just going to be a risky play nonetheless. Oh, hey, Carl. Happy to see you back, man. Hey, Rounder. Bitcoin is up only. All markets are up only. What do you call it? It's well, today the markets are up because they had a little bit of a panic attack yesterday. I feel like when we were talking about, I didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday because I was paying attention to little guy over there, but we all knew what the Fed was going to say. The market already knew what the Fed was going to say. You know, like, I feel like the market is somehow trying to bully the Fed into cutting rates or something, but they're just not going to do it. Jerome Powell, he will cut rates before the election happens because he does want to see, in my opinion, Biden reelected, and he wants to not have to deal with Trump because Trump would be calling him out every single day. Cut the rates, cut the rates, cut the rates, cut the rates, right? And it's just that self-preservation that the bureaucracy has. Now, that being said, you know, forget about the politics of it. Forget about the overall economy for a second and just focus on inflation itself. Inflation typically goes through these massive waves where we kind of have a peak, a trough, and then another peak, and then it fizzles out. He's trying very, very hard to not have us peak again, and I can understand that and respect that. I don't think he's going to have the grit needed perhaps in order to like stick it out, but I think he won't have to like really. He won't have too much struggles with it as long as the economy and the continues to slow bit by bit by bit. As long as that's happening, inflation should continue to come down more and more and more. Then he can feel much happy about lowering those rate cuts. It's just that, yeah, his main goal is just to make sure that inflation doesn't peak again. Remember his, I guess it was only a couple years ago, but hey guys, remember, inflation is pretty bad, but don't worry, it's transitory. It's transitory. It's transitory. It's transitory at 3%. It's transitory at 4%. It's transitory at 5%. Uh-oh, it's at 6%. Okay, maybe it's not transitory. Let's start raising rates fast, 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 fast. We had the stock market freak out for a little bit. We went through a mini recession where we had 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. And then, of course, then we kind of had the rebound. Everything started turning out okay. And then we had, of course, AI, which just supercharged everything. And AI, I think, in fact, saved a lot of the market because it just opened up, unlocked so much more capital. But yeah, he's just trying to stop the second trough, the second spike. That's what he's trying to do right now. And as far as GDP is concerned, I think we're still in a good spot. yeah, we're at 3.3. Perfectly fine. Nothing crazy there. Nothing bad there. Look at that last 3 years. We're in a soft spot. We're in a good spot. Last 25 years, column, we're fine. Nothing out of the ordinary. That first negative that we have, that's going to be where things maybe get a little bit more concerned. You can see over here in January of 2022. January 2022 is where everything kind of fell off a cliff. You know, we're nowhere close to that. We're not there. So until something like that happens, I think we're okay. We should have another really great February. The stock market's kind of just gearing up. It's having multiple green months. We could stall out a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be crazy. If you look at either the NASDAQ or the SPY here, right? We're just dealing with a little bit of resistance. After that, we go much higher. Let's go over here to the weekly chart. A little bit of resistance. Afterwards, go much higher. And then we start trying to deal with this. Yeah, I'm not overly too concerned about it. But yeah, Bitcoin, it's kind of acting weird because, not even Bitcoin, just altcoins. Because Bitcoin's been definitely going a little bit more sideways. It's the same price as it was back over here in December. And it's been a long consolidation, But altcoins have definitely rallied up a little bit more, and now, they're looking a little more bearish than Bitcoin. But, honestly, who cares if the altcoins are looking so bearish? As long as Bitcoin has the opportunity to move higher, should be okay. Look at the monthly chart here. We still have an opportunity to have another surge. Typically, when we have so many green candles, though, we need to have either a really strong pop here or we're going to be coming down this month. And I'd rather have a strong pop going up here, breaking above the resistance level around like 48,000, take us all the way up here to 59,000 or something over the next 2 months. That's going to be hard to do, I know, but I wouldn't say it's impossible because of how crazy this market has been so far. We don't really have to worry about all the COVID stuff here. A little bit of consolidation. Let's see where we can go next. I think I'm happy with it. Even if we do have that little bit of a downturn like I'm talking about for like a month or two, it's still, it's still like a rocket ship taking off. Do I think there'll be a Bitcoin and breakdown for a scalp? It depends on what you think of as a scalp for Bitcoin and where. The trade I was talking about yesterday, for maybe if you didn't want to short, that was this move right here. Was right here? Yeah, right over here. And it went down there and hit the price target, but then you got to buy it at that point. A scalping play here. You see a little bit of a breakdown here, but really, even though we've kind of had maybe this breakdown or something like this breakdown right here, what I'm really looking at is, are we going to actually break this cycle of, where's my drawing? There you go. Magnet must be on here. Low, lower high, lower high, lower high, question mark. If we start breaking down below this order block, maybe we'll start coming back down. But since we have this other level of support right here, honestly, I might wait for the scalp until we break down below like 42,700 or so. After that, then we can start going down a little bit more. 2-hour chart. We're trying to break out of this lower high situation here, but maybe you can have an opportunity to see us come back down here to about 42,822, but that's a very small scalp. You're going to have to be using high leverage if you want to go down that route. I would say Bitcoin's probably not going to be your best opportunity to be making money shorting. I'd point you to what are the volatile ones today? Ape token and Link are the good ones for today. Typically, if you want to scalp, you can. I think there's one I have set up here. Is it this one? Yeah, you can use a simple 9 and 21 EMA, and you could try to trade those crossovers if you want to, right? So a crossover on a breakdown, crossover, change a character here. You can try to do those as scalps. There are opportunities, I would say, I guess, when it's more in a bullish mood. I don't take them because you get stuff like that, but you know, crossover here, change a character, you can go there. Crossover here, change a character, you can go there. Crossover here, change a character here. That one did not work. Oh, I guess, yeah, you can see all the equal lows that were kind of here there, so you can see that that support level. But, even still, that might have been an opportunity because you have your stop loss right there. Now, if you keep on doing it over and over again, you'll still make a profit. Change of character here, but there's no crossover. Crossover, change of character, you could buy here, stop loss here or here, but it ends up working out. That's fine. Break of structure followed by a crossover here, that could work out as well. Plus a break of structure here. No change of character, green there. Crossover, change of character here. Then hit the stop loss, looking fine. Crossover, change character, no stop loss hit. Yeah. So if you're looking for one that works, I think when people do this, they change up the candles a little bit more, but I'm just using some simple color candles. There's the what's it called? It's the Hakakishi candles. There you go. You could try to go like that. Turn off that. You could try to go off of that method if you wanted to with the crossovers. That's always a thing. But typically, it just kind of depends on how much leverage you're using, how much money you're using, are the fees making it worth it to do the trading, and so forth there. Maybe I'll make a strategy on this one. I think I added it to one of the Smart Money Concepts videos I just made. The one from this week, I think. I added this one without the candles difference, but, it works. Let's see. Well, we already had the crossover here. No, the crossover was over here with the change of character. So the crossover happened right here. I guess you could still technically have it done, but I don't want to chase it too much. Maybe tomorrow, since BY DeFi sent me that $200 to invest and trade with them, maybe I can just do a bunch of day trades with this, like small amounts, like $50, 10x leverage, and just do some scalps. Look for some support levels. Maybe I could add an automatic support level on here, but I mean, typically the order blocks are going to do. But I might have. The fact there's no order blocks in here, maybe I turn some of them off. Swing all. No. It's just not showing me many order blocks. It's showing me resistance ones. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I only have them 2, so 5. 5. There we go. I might be able to play around with these a little bit, but they'd be scalps. It might even be a lesson to be careful about how the fees can eat up your profits. Let's go over here very fast. Scooch out. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. You might be able to do this with a 15-minute chart or something, but I haven't tried it out with the 15-minute chart yet. When I'm scalping, it's usually small time frames. All right, these order blocks are killing the chart, so I'm not gonna really try to keep it in auto mode. Settings, status line, scales. Oh, there we go. 38. Yeah, you guys can see the numbers then. Apply to all. All right, then from here, crossover. No change of character yet. There's the change of character with the crossover. So you have a short amount of time here. You're looking for that resistance, or you're going to be looking for the weekly high here. One of the two. Oh, looks like it was smarter just to get out there. Although you stop loss and it hit, so I guess you have an opportunity. But yeah, see, you got to get out. You got to get out. Crossover here. Change of character there. Let's see what happens. Nope, that one ended up being a bad one right there. Crossover, change of character here. went into that resistance, broke out, and now we're looking at another one. So got to be careful. You'd probably still have to zoom out. You can see that order block right there stood up pretty fine, but kind of have to zoom out a little bit more and kind of see what's going on. I don't think you can be so zoomed in like I am. Breaks down. Change your character, so we really have to look for that resistance level there. Typically, you don't break on the first try, but second try maybe. So let's see. How did that one end up working? So stop loss will be there, obviously. You buy right there. It's still green. It looks like it turns to red right there, maybe. Yeah, so that one didn't work out. So you got to look at it a little bit more. Typically, I would say maybe a 1 hour chart. It's fine. Oh, yeah. If you're kind of ranging in here, it doesn't really make much sense. But if you're in an overall pretty bearish mood, maybe on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, I think that's what makes more sense. Like these sideways moves, yeah, not the best. But, you know, honestly, you were looking at maybe an opportunity for a reversal here. Once it went red, maybe it's actually worth it to have a 2 layout section where one is on the 5-minute chart and the other is maybe on the hourly chart, just so you can see what's happening. Because what I'm thinking of here is I wonder if I should add some oscillators onto that 1 hour chart, just so I know only to be buying bullish or only going to buy bearish. That might be something worth doing. It'll be hard to backtest it, of course, but no. I mean, it'd be hard to do the replay thing with it, but not necessarily backtest it. Maybe that'd be a fun one to try out. Because when it's volatile, it's fine. 1 hour chart. Yeah. Okay, but enough of this, yeah. But typically, get a replay here. Typically, a simple 9 and 21 is a nice little way to scalp. You can see we're in this kind of uptrend right now. Typically, you'd be more happy to go long unless you can see some type of breakdown or pattern. And, well, smart money doesn't have patterns, but I'm pretty sure the price action concept one has patterns if you pay for Algo. Or if you maybe have just a cheat sheet or something like that. Because as I, you know, at first when the more volatile, it actually looks like it's doing pretty well. But as I kind of went back and looked at it a little bit more, when it's going sideways, just like how my trades usually don't work out when the market's going sideways, you really have to be getting in and out pretty fast. And I tend to want to have hope, and that hope will get crushed easily using that strategy in a sideways market. Hey, Loki's looking pretty good. He's napping right now. He's chilling out after a long day of running. Basically, he ate all that meat and that, like, those pad things. So the vet said, "Oh, try to purge him if you can, but he's large enough where it really shouldn't matter because his body will digest it." Actually, and I know that it actually gets digested. And he's like, just make sure it passes through the stool when you get a chance. And so basically, I've been staying outside with Loki all day, letting him run around, play, went on a couple walks. I got some cigars from the mailbox, and just letting him run outside. He hasn't. He pooped once. Nothing. No padding came out, but it's only been the first day, so I'm really supposed to watch for like the next week and a half or something, and I'm supposed to see if he hasn't eaten any discomfort. So I poked and prodded his belly, aka tickling. He had no issues with it. So he's doing fine. Right now he's like just napping. Yeah, just chilling. We got our biggest paws are, but yeah, he's doing pretty good. We're basically just watching him all the time. Do I think selling link position at 1860 and waiting for the pullback to buy back in is a smart right now, or I will run it up higher? Typically, what I would say in those situations is that what you're looking for is a scale out of a portion of the trade, and then put that scale out back in later on. I wouldn't sell everything and then put it back lower. I would do like a 20% out, 50% out, whatever you feel comfortable with, and then once it comes back down a little bit, try to go higher. As far as the specifics of that number, though, let me find the link. There we go. And you're talking about 1860. So we're not even at 1860 yet. So is there a level of resistance at 1860? Yeah, it looks like this probably is. So it's 1843. So up here maybe that's 19. I would say anywhere above $18 is actually pretty fine. On the higher end, you could look at 1834. If you're looking for another big pop sometime over the next couple hours, you know, you could actually go down the way of 1952. But right now, it doesn't really look like anything's slowing down as far as that pop is concerned, right? We're at a little bit of a resistance level, you know, relative to where, you know, a lot of these peaks are. You can see there's like a little bit of a line already breaking out above it, making a new high, but, you know, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, hasn't really stopped it from coming back down to consolidate. So you can definitely try to do that sometime, I would say above $18, really above, what is this right here? Really anywhere above 1767 is actually an okay opportunity here. And then you're going to look for it to maybe come back down a little bit more. The price you just said, though, is a little bit lower. Okay, so you said low, buy it back lower. You know, when you're making these higher highs, you kind of had a little bit of a concern here where we kind of made a lower low. But besides that, you know, maybe you don't want to wait for it to come all the way back down to 1384. If you're, depends on your strategy, but you might just wait for it to come back down maybe below $16, maybe as $15. Because what I'm looking at here is there might be a, you know, nice little trend line there. It might eventually just come back down to the 15s or so, and then try to make another run up. But these resistance levels, you know, you're hitting them right now. You're basically hitting them. So I might not even wait until you hit that 1850 level. Anything above 18 is really good enough for me here. But again, you don't have to sell it all. You don't have to sell any of it. It's just more of like, do you want to see? Do you think it's going to come back down? It looks like it probably will. But how much are you willing to take out of the trade in order to see if it does come to fruition? How much you're going to gamble on that part? For me, 20 to 50% seems fine. You don't have to go even up to like 75% or something like that. You could always adjust or move your stop loss up if you're afraid of something like that happening too, and then reopen a trade later on. That's always the other avenue there. Hey Walter, all over in your house. What do you call? It's it's been interesting. Hey boy, it's definitely been interesting to kind of hear the stories of people in houses and stuff like that. It's why I can never be a landlord. I don't want to deal with it. You know, as soon as somebody's in my house, all of a sudden, like they're breaking in, that's like authorization for me to feel for my life, and then just pull out my guns and go poosh and start blasting. Hello, Loki's over here. He heard us talking and being all excited. Up, up, up. Oh, you need to stretch, don't you? Hello. Okay, you can go back to sleep if you want to. He's looking at me all serious. He's like, dude, I've been sleeping. He's looking for an excuse to get his butt scratched. He's looking for an excuse to stretch. Let's see. And hey, the real transporter. I always trade with Hiking Ashi. I suck at pronouncing the word. There are a lot of people who do so. There is nothing wrong with it whatsoever. In fact, there's plenty of benefits for it as far as I'm concerned. I would just, you know, I don't adjust too much to other types of candles just because I think it's more of an ADHD thing. I like what I like, and I don't like to move around and try different things out too much. I know enough to use it if I have to, but when is the situation going to be forcing me to use the candles? Like, what? I'm going to have some boss saying I have to do this? No, right? And hey, Knuckle Buster, happy to see you back, man. Let's see right here. Can I look at a good take profit level on IMX? I don't really know what your time frame is here. If it's let's see right here. If it's pumping up a little bit right now, it's up 6% today. It's more of scale out levels. I guess I did have that breakout yesterday. Units at 205. So right now I would move your stop loss probably up to 205 at least, maybe even up to 210. What's this level right here? 209. Maybe up to 208 or something like that, 207, just to make sure no matter what happens now, you know you're going to be making a profit. 1 hour chart here is still chugging up quite a bit. Nothing wrong with that. A little bit of weakness in the 1 hour chart, but honestly, it doesn't matter. 15 still looking pretty good. The 5 still looking pretty good. All right. Nothing bad over here. You have some resistance up here around 286. Is that around 286 too? That's when I was 250s. So 284. Okay. I can find the tool. There we are. So basically you got this order block right here. Now, on the extreme side of things, you're going to be looking at a resistance level where you know you're probably going to be out of around 90% of your trade, probably up here before it hits 259. After that, you can kind of let the last 10% or however much you want to risk go higher and see if it can break above and maybe go above $3 or something like that. That's like your last trade, your everything you've made your money, and you're kind of waiting to see what happens next. Now, let's go back over here to the 4 hour chart. You might have a good opportunity to scale out somewhere around 225 to 230. This kind of matches up a little bit right here, but honestly, I'm used to getting out a little bit earlier. So for me, 225, I think that'd be fine. 2 hour chart here. $231 matches up with that level of resistance, but honestly, 225 might be a good opportunity to take that first big scale out. This thing is kind of blasting through all levels of resistance right now. Here's the 1 minute chart. $225 would be a good first opportunity. 220 if you're more cautious like I am. It's kind of like about to break above that, maybe bouncing above it right now. So you can say 220 or 225 for the first one. After that, you're probably going to look for a 230 to 240. Now, the resistance level is actually 242. Right here at 233. Again, you know, the 230, it's a little bit below this, so you know it's probably going to hit before you hit that level of resistance. That's the reason there. And then maybe every 5 cents afterwards, you can toss out another 10%, but probably a good 20% chunk out around 220 to 225. Again, it's really up to you to determine how much longer you want to hold this. The daily candle looks fine. The 4 hour candles all look fine. Eventually, you're going to have a little bit of a consolidation, but you know, it's not going to be hard to move your stop loss up to 205, 207, 208, 209, whatever. Especially since we actually just broke above 220. You're probably fine up to 210 here. So no matter what happens, you're making some profit. But you know, 225 if you don't want to do the 220 level, then 230, then probably 235. You could probably jump up to 250 if you wanted to after there, just because you start to hit this a little bit more of a gap. Between right here 230, up here 240, all the way up here 260. You can try to skip this one if you want. Just because of how the momentum is taking this off. It's up 7%. It's not terrible. For me, you know, 220, 225 is a good first place for a scale out. And you could, if you wanted to move this stop loss up from wherever it is now, maybe up to 220 if it does hit 225, or maybe 215 if it hits 225, maybe to 220 if it hits 230. Typically in this situation, you might just move it up. You know, your stop loss should, a trailing stop loss of 10 cents basically is the way I would think about it. So if it goes up 10%, then your stop loss is going to be down below that, or 10 cents. Your stop loss is going to be below 10 cents below the recent high. Excuse me. Bumbling all over the place here, but yeah, it seems to be doing quite well right now, especially since it's like breaking it as we're talking. Bitcoin 15-minute chart should be fine here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna call it a night, everybody. And hey, Chris, yeah, we checked out Link. It's doing fine. It's booming right now. Be careful if you're trying to chase it, but it's doing fine. You're gonna be looking to day trade it here, maybe with a 9 and what did I say those moving averages were? With a couple EMAs if you wanted to. I think it's 9.21 or 9.27. But yeah, I'm gonna go take Loki out to use the bathroom again. Look at Loki here very fast. Just the face. Oh, see, I forgot. I had coffee with me, and I was going to drink my coffee, but nice typical drip coffee. Loki, up. No, it's okay. You don't need a toy to come up. Up. Now look, listen. Up. Loki, up. Oh, wants to play with the ball. Up. Up. Oh, now you're passionate about coming to say hi. Want to go outside? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he didn't want to hurt me, so he didn't actually go with the ball. But anyway, I'll see you guys a little bit later on tomorrow. I will be putting out a lot more content here. And just as a reminder for all of you guys, do have the new sponsor here with BYDFI. Some of you guys have been looking for another exchange outside of like the Coinbases and the crypto.coms and the Kraken and stuff like that. If you guys are looking, give it a shot. Let me know if you guys like it or if you guys don't. That way I can actually like tell the people like you don't like something. They usually listen to me because I have a, how do I describe you guys? My audience likes to learn how to trade. People that follow me usually don't blow up their accounts, and they like that because that means they can keep making commissions off of you guys. We've had this conversation many times before, but you guys are good traders. You guys don't take crazy risks, and they like traders that like to learn, and so they want to make their exchanges based off of what you guys like, to not blow up, which is, I guess, always a good a good thing, right? So I'll see you guys a little bit later on tomorrow. I'll probably be putting out like 3 to 4 videos tomorrow on top of our stream, so get ready for all that type of stuff. Okay, thanks everybody.